Welcome to Trojan TV. I'm Lexi.
And I'm Kate.
For this week's show, we will take a closer look at how a recent gun law may impact schools,
A classroom spotlight in Mr. Moore's science classes,
and a Trojan TV sports update with Harrison.
But first, let's get into our announcements for this week.
Today is the last day to purchase books and other items from the book fair. Make sure to stop in the library before 2:45 this afternoon. Girls basketball registration is underway. The cost is $125 until Thursday, December 21st, or $150 if registered after. Reduced fees are available for those who qualify for free or reduced meals. See the LEAP website for more information and registration. Get your yearbook ordered today. The last day to pre-purchase and save $10 is December 31st. Visit our EMS homepage and select the yearbook order link to guarantee your copy.
Does buying your yearbook before December 31st save you tons of money? Does running get you in shape? Does buying your yearbook before December 31st save you tons of money? Does turning your homework on time give you good grades? Mr. Howard, I finished all my homework.
All right, let's see it.
Does buying your yearbook before December 31st save you tons of money? Does yelling get your point across?
The chocolate chip cookies are way better!
The M&M cookies are way better!
This conversation's over. I'm never talking to you again.
Same here!
Does watching this ad make you want to buy your yearbook?
Our annual Trojan TV Ugly Holiday Sweater Contest is right around the corner. On Wednesday, December 13th, be sure to wear your sweaters to qualify for one of our 3 categories: Holiday Ugly, Creative Ugly, and Just Plain Ugly. Winners from each category will receive a prize. A bill allowing guns into schools passed in the Michigan legislature and has many school officials concerned. Here's Clay with more on the story.
On November 8th, a bill in the Michigan Senate passed that allows people to obtain extra training to carry concealed weapons in schools and gun-free zones. Republican legislators say the bill is really about a technicality in the law and denies citizens their Second Amendment rights. The law allows concealed pistols in pistol-free zones in places like daycare centers and schools, but not open weapons, which were previously allowed, often forcing schools into a lockdown situation. Republican Representative Michelle Hotinga: it only becomes illegal when a person puts on a coat because the gun then becomes concealed. 1 millimeter of clothing makes a difference between a criminal act and a legal act. This new bill has created a lot of controversy for parents, students, and teachers.
I think it's frustrating to me. I think it kind of shows just how out of touch some lawmakers are here in Michigan and what they see, public school teachers, as far as their duties are.
I know that there are a lot of crazy people out there who would like to use guns for violence and not for self-defense and all. And allowing those things, even if they have a license, into those kinds of places would be just absurd. The safety of people would not be safety at all.
I don't 100% support it, but I do feel that it would make the school a little bit safer in case there was an actual lockdown with a person that is trying to harm people.
As a teacher, my focus is to teach kids, and to have that other thing just looming out on the horizon is somebody could walk in without anybody knowing, carrying a gun, would be a cause for alarm for sure. I mean, I treat kids in my classroom like I would my own kids. I want their safety to be #1 priority.
TCAP School Superintendent Paul Soma says he has a number of concerns about guns in school.
Well, I feel like adding more, like having teachers or others bring guns in schools makes the environment more dangerous, and I think there's possibility that bad things can happen. Some people say, arm the teachers with guns. Teachers have one of the hardest jobs and the most important jobs of anyone. And to have to be worrying about a weapon to help control a situation, I don't think that that's a smart way to go for our society. I think there are other ways that we can handle situations.
Some feel school police officers could provide a reasonable alternative to the guns in school argument. However, shrinking education budgets leave little opportunity for this safety measure.
They can increase the funding for these public school systems instead of taking it away. And that's what they need to do, provide a source of funding where we can have a police officer in the school who's focused only on keeping the school safe.
It just seems kind of ironic that they take away funding so we can't afford to have law enforcement officers, and now we're going to be able to have any random person off the street come in with a concealed weapon. That seems sort of scary.
The bill heads next to the House of Representatives. It would have to pass the House and earn a signature from Governor Rick Snyder to become law. This has been Harrison and Clayton reporting for Trojan TV.
The 10th annual East Middle School Talent Show will be here soon. The performances will be held mid-March prior to spring break, and auditions will begin in February, so now is the time to put your act together, practice, and prepare. Audition dates will be released as soon as they are finalized, which will be prior to winter break. Grace caught up with Mrs. Washburn, formerly Miss Taglauer, to learn more about the upcoming event.
Hi, I'm Grace. I'm down here with Mrs. Washburn, who's in charge of the EMS Talent Show for this year. So can you tell us more about that, please?
Sure. This is our 10th annual show, and a little history is once upon a time, East was actually a junior high, and grades 7, 8, and 9 were in this building. When that was the case, Mrs. Fortin, who is a math teacher at Central High School, ran the East Junior High Talent Show. Well, when we became a middle school, Mrs. Fortin traveled to Central High School with her freshmen and continues to teach math at the high school, and I took over as the talent show coordinator and just feel really lucky that that spot was open because I have a lot of fun doing it.
That's great. Okay, so how can students prepare for this year?
Well, to get ready, I would encourage students in all grades, 6 through 8, to put together acts with multiple East Middle School students for the most involvement possible. And put together an act that you feel is entertaining. That could be dancing, it could be acting out a skit, it could be singing, it could be ventriloquism. Really, your own creativity is the limit. So acts containing multiple East Middle School students is preferred. However, if you would like to do something solo, you are welcome to audition as well.
Nice. Back to you, Kate.
Thanks, Grace. Students, be sure to start planning and preparing for the talent show now. 8th graders, be sure to sign up for the Washington, D.C. trip. Time is running out. You have the opportunity to spend 4 nights in our nation's capital in May with other adventurous travelers. See or email Mrs. Mackey for an informational packet and application. Tutoring in math and language arts is available for all grades after school on Mondays and Wednesdays. All parents received an email with more information and a sign-up link. You can also see your counselor for more information. For this week's Classroom Spotlight, we caught up with Gloria and Graham to learn more about Mr. Moore's lab project.
In this week's Classroom Spotlight, we caught up with Mr. Moore to learn more about the 7th grade lab activity.
The purpose of this activity was to get kids out of their seat and moving, at the same time learning a little bit about the history of some scientists who had a great part in the discovery of the atomic structure. The lab was to start with a foundation of just how the atom structure came about. He forged ahead and tried to figure out a way of a better understanding a little bit more about the atomic structure, so he came up with this idea of shooting a photon through a gold foil and seeing if it did anything to affect the rebound.
Students say this was an accurate representation of the original experiment.
We learned that before Ernest Rutherford did the experiment, that everybody thought that the protons, neutrons, and electrons were just placed randomly throughout the atom and didn't really have any purpose.
You know, the main reason that I want to do this lab is that students understand that we're dealing with something very, very small, okay? And we can't see it. And that's why we used a piece of cardboard to cover up the rubber stoppers, because you can't see the particles. You're just rolling marbles underneath to see how they reflect and bounce off. And from that, we're making educated guess on where those rubber stoppers are, and that's in essence what Rutherford did.
This has been Graham and Gloria reporting for Trojan TV.
Hi, I'm Peyton, filling in for Harrison with your Trojan TV Sports Update. Coach Reed's East team took on West Monday night and pulled off a strong victory. Though the game started tight, the Trojans pulled away by the end of the second quarter, putting West on the chase for the rest of the game. Contributions from Brett Weaver on rebounds and offense from John Chenard and Trevor Whitkey helped seal the deal with a final score of 31-22. The second contest of the night was our black tier team taking on Cadillac. The Trojans used their full court press to their advantage, forcing many turnovers by Cadillac. Scoring contributions came from a number of players as the Trojans dominated and outplayed a weaker Cadillac team. The Trojans won the contest 45-17. And that's your Trojan TV Sports Update. Back to you guys.
Well, that concludes this episode of Trojan TV.
You can find all of our videos on our YouTube channel, Trojan TV East, and follow our DMC staff on Instagram and Facebook, @EastDMC. And check out our extended news and feature coverage on our website, The Link.
Have a great weekend, Trojans.
Bye.
Bye.
Common Good Bakery, handcrafted on purpose, 14th Street, Traverse City.